All right, good morning. We're going to go ahead and underglaze our cat's face. And I've got some underglazes here. You can tell that they're underglazes because they say velvet underglazes. They've got this white and green label. If they don't come in this bottle, they'll definitely say underglaze so that you'll know that's underglaze. You don't want to use regular glaze for this. So I've got black, white, and brown that I'm going to be using on this guy. And I also have a selection of brushes, which you can also find back by sink number 2 where the underglazes are. And I've got some square brushes, which these ones look like. I've got a bigger one here for bigger areas, smaller one for smaller areas. I've also got some detail brushes here that are round brushes that come to a point. These are really good for little details on the face. And I've got some brushes that are for stippling. So this is if you want an ombre effect, if you want to blend two colors together, you can use these to do that. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take one of these bigger brushes and I'm going to just take some of my underglaze, and this is leather hard, the piece that I'm doing. And actually, I'm going to switch to a bone dry piece in just a second because it's going to dry a little bit faster for us, so I can show you a little bit faster how to do this. But I do want to show you when this goes on to leather hard clay, it goes on kind of transparent, translucent, and we want this to be opaque. So we're going to have to put several layers of this on to make this opaque, which just means we won't be able to see through it. At the end of this, we won't be able to see any of the clay underneath. Now, when we do this, sometimes we're impatient, so we can take the heat gun and we can dry this with the heat gun and to make it a little bit faster. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually switch to this guy, and I'm going to, I've got a coat on him already of the brown. I would put several more coats of the brown on. And I'm going to then paint the eyes and the nose. I've got a small brush to do that with. So I would go over the whole thing just with a base layer. And now I'm getting ready to paint the eyes. Whoops, I made a little mistake there. I'll have to fix that later. So I'll take this. I'm going to paint the nose. Okay. And we're going to let that dry for just a minute. While I'm doing that, I'm going to stipple right here, and I'll show you that stippling effect. Okay, I've just got some white, and I'm putting my brush perpendicular to my piece, and I'm just loading this a little bit, putting a little bit there. Then I'm going to switch. I'm going to do a little bit of brown, and this is going to create an ombre effect. And I usually have to do this several times where I switch back and forth. And you can start to see that it's starting to blend and make a lighter color there. Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put a few little dots on here for the whiskers. I can use my little brush to do this. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to do, I would go over this several times, is I'm going to take my white underglaze and I'm going to give a little dot on the eye. And what that's going to do is just give it a little reflection in the eye, make that look a little bit more realistic. Okay, and there we go. I'm actually going to stipple just a little bit on the top here too. I've got a little spot maybe. So you can also see by loading that brush up and creating spots, I can make this a different color. All right, thank you.